Hey, my name is Timothy Barton. I work at Express Cabinets. Today we're building this custom cabinet for Oasis Towers. So it's a 24 by 34 and a half cabinet. So we're gonna first go through our cut list. So we always do about 1/4 of an inch bigger every time we cut. That way, if we mess up or if there's a bad piece of wood, we can cut it out. So that's the best way we do it. I'm gonna cut these to 10 and a half and then get my stretchers out of this. Okay, so after we're done cutting all our pieces, we're gonna go over to this edge bander here and we're gonna edge band these edges so it looks all nice and pretty. Because of some pieces of wood, how thin they are, you need a little extra help. And then I'm gonna switch this blade out with what's called a dado. That's what gets this nice groove back here. That's where our back panel is gonna sit. So that way, when you put stuff in the back of your cabinet, it doesn't fall out. Funny how that works. So for this particular job, we're using what's called paint grade. It's this kind of clear looking stuff, goes on the edge, and it works great for putting primer on and then be able to put the rest of your paint on. That's what it should look like. So whenever I do a dado, I always have to make sure I do it right. Because if you don't do it right, the back won't go in just right. So I'm gonna put my fence at 7 1/8 or 7/8. I'm gonna take a test piece, turn this on. I'm gonna stop it. I'm gonna stop it right there so that way I can put my clamp on. So when you're running a dado, sometimes it can come back up or it can get, I've had it go skilwampus all over on me a couple times. So this is to make sure it stays flat on the blade. Make sure I don't have any issues. Let's take my gauge. That is right where I want it to be, about 0.4849. I'm also looking for the nicer edge, because the nicer side is the side that'll be seen inside the cabinet. So this is my nicer side, so I'm gonna put that face down, run it across the dado. This is where we drill all the holes. So I'm gonna drill my bottom and my stretchers first. For the bottom of the stretchers, you only just drill right here. When I get the sides, I'll drill into the actual face of it. Because it's a side, I can just flip it over. This is stuff that we've already figured out, like, okay, these are where the dowels are gonna go, this is how we're gonna put it together. Okay, and I'm gonna lay this out. Yeah, so when I'm doing this, I start basically from the top, go down to the bottom, and then I'm going to lay out all the holes I need to drill. So I'll just do it on one side, and then I'll just translate it to the other side. So we've got our top stretcher, so come down 3/4. It's gonna be 3/8 because that's the middle, that's half of 3/4. So after I go 3/4, I'm gonna add 5 inches. So 5, 3/4, and add 3/8. So 1, 2, 3, so 6 1/8. I'll mark that. Mark 5 3/4 because that'll be the top of my shelf. So after that, I've got a 11 1/4 drawer underneath this one. Okay. And then my bottom, because it's a Euro, it's a specific kind of cabinet. I'm gonna come up 4 inches. This will be where my bottom will go. 4 inches plus 3/8, so 4 3/8. And then I'll have a toe kick and then a nailer back here. And then so I'll find some scrap pieces of wood and I'll cut it to these lengths here. So that, or to these two, I won't need it. I won't need to do one here because I already have it set up in a different way. So I'll move this piece over here, move this piece here. This will go on the number 10. And then these colors coordinate onto the actual machine. It'll go from black, orange, all the way across. So I have all the numbers correct. The reason I have to put these on is because my pieces, where I need to drill it, is just a little wider than that small little fence will go. So I have to adjust it accordingly. Now all I have to do is cut out the back nailer, or not a back nailer, back panel, and then put all this together. Let's go put it together. Okay, so now we're just gonna put glue in all the holes. I'm gonna put these dowels in, and those will keep it together. And so when I put all my stretchers on, I'll put more glue in. So that way once it's in the house, there's no problem of putting anything on top of this cabinet. Shouldn't be any problem with any of it, especially where it's going to be a drawer slide. And I'm not putting a ton either. I'm putting a decent amount, but not so much that it's overflowing all over the place. So that's all the dowels I need. I'm going to grab my drawer slides and put those in real quick. I'm going to put my drawer slides in. Just line up those holes I've already drilled, so it's pretty much gonna have no problems. Okay, now I can put the rest of the pieces together. Take my bottom, put some glue in it. Clamp will get the rest of the way for me. I'll put my back panel in. I'll put glue on all these holes here, and then I'm going to grab my other side and put it on top, and we'll take it over to the clamp and make sure it stays together at that point. It's always the fun part, trying to get it all lined up. There we go. gonna put some cabinet feet on it. It's got some gaps still, but once we put in the clamp, those will disappear. Put it on the ground and we're gonna slide it over there. Make sure these all line up. Make sure these are all on, and I'll press it. I'll squeeze it tight. So all those gaps that were there should disappear. So we're waiting for that to kind of finalize. We're gonna go put some drawers put together. Our drawers are a little different. We do dovetail drawers, and you'll see what that is in a little bit. But we try to make sure our drawers are pretty sturdy, so that way if something happens, if you drop your drawer or anything, it's not gonna just bust open and go all over the place on you. So these are my 4-inch. These will go on top. Cut off a little bit on the end. To the dovetail machine, and we're gonna show you how dovetails are made. I'm gonna put my side on top here, this way the dado facing out. Make sure it goes all the way to the bottom, make sure there's no gap. Clamp it in, take the sharp edge, dado down, slide it in, gap. Gaps, good. Close that, and I just press this button. It's gonna go. Just repeat the same process, now with the bigger ones. Okay, no gaps. Okay, and then I'm gonna push it against it, make sure there's no gaps here. Clamp, clamp, button. Take one set. There's a drawer right there that we're gonna put together. I'm gonna take my side, lay it down, make sure the dados are matching. Here. Take it. Sometimes I can push it on, other times I can't. So as soon as I'm done with this, I'm gonna take it over to a clamp we have. The dovetails are pretty strong enough. We just want to make sure that they stay together. And this last part, put the drawer back. All good back here. There you go. There's a drawer cabinet for you.